China is the new China, by the way.
It's China to me.
China, 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 China. I have to have my China. China, 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 China. China, 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 China. You know, China.
I know China very well.
I have people that I know in China. People from China, they love me.
China, 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 China. China, 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 China.
I have to have my China.
China, 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 China. China, 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 China.
I have to have my China.
And by the way, I love China. I mean, I love China. How can you not love China? I love China. China, China. People think I don't like China. I love China.
Get him out, get him out, get him out of here. Out, 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 out. Get him out, get him out, get him out of here. Get the hell out of here. Get him out, get him out of here. Out, 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 out. Get him out, get him out, get him out of here. Get the hell out of here. Out, forget about those people. Make great deals. Incredible. All right. So look, isn't it crazy? Isn't it ridiculous? What? Crazy. Ridiculous. Isn't it crazy? Isn't it ridiculous? What? Crazy. Ridiculous. Folks.
Crazy.
Folks. Crazy. Folks. Crazy. Folks. Ridiculous. Folks. 10 feet higher. The wall just got 10 feet higher. That's right, 10 feet higher. I said the wall just got 10 feet higher. 10 feet higher. The wall just got 10 feet higher. 10 feet higher. I said the wall just got 10 feet higher.
I'm building a wall, okay? I'm building a wall. I'm building a wall, okay? I'm building a wall. Well, I'm building a wall, okay? I'm building a wall. I'm building a wall, okay? I'm building a wall.
Build that wall. Build that wall. Build that wall. Build that wall. Build that wall. Build that wall. Build that wall. Build that wall.
Love the flow. 69. Now it's time for new, believable people, and we must do it. If we don't control insiders, this will be over and over. To lead by an any big fat love, find common ground to halt the spread of lies, and we must do it big fat love, find common ground to halt the spread of lies, and any
America first. America first.
non-fatal. We want to build a much better, believable people, and we must do it non-fatal. Communication very much higher.
America first.
To lead by an any
Insiders fighting for insiders.
time to stop.
Insiders fighting for insiders.
More of
Insiders fighting for insiders.
time to stop.
Insiders fighting for insiders. America first.
Love the flow. 69. Now it's time for new, believable people, and we must do it. If we don't control
Insiders.
this will be over and over. To lead by an any big spread of lies, and we must do it big, fat, love, find common ground to halt the spread of lies and any
America first. America first.
non-fatal. We want to build a much better, believable people, and we must do it non-fatal. Communication
Very much higher. America first.
to lead by an any
Insiders fighting for insiders.
time to stop.
Insiders fighting for insiders.
More of
Insiders fighting for insiders.
time to stop.
Insiders fighting for insiders. America first.
Love the flow.
All right. Hey guys, I know I tipped my dick a little bit too early here, but yeah. Well, yeah, I do have my fucking MAGA hat on. I just love that song. America first, guys. So, hey, how's it going? Shit's fucking retarded. Oh, let's take that text off. Stream is now officially started. How's it going, everybody in the chat? So, shit's fucking stupid. And I am now completely convinced at this point. Oh, shoot. I just realized I have my, now that I have my mic on, I should turn my AC off. But, wow, interesting. It really appears that Donald Trump could cure cancer and they would still bitch about it. So I thought, now first of all, there's a couple of things to mention. One, Hard Bastard streaming right now. He will do a much better coverage of most of these stories than I will, I'm sure. He's usually much more thorough than I am in terms of that news coverage. And I'm gonna take the hat off in a minute. But other than that, oh, also Gulf City is also streaming. So thank you guys for coming by and being on this stream where I'm gonna bitch about, or maybe not even bitch, but more accurately, just muse about the current state of how incredibly screwed up the left is. I made a video a while back called, it was something like, can the DNC get their life? And I think that it kind of really accurately, I'm gonna take it off actually, surmises what's happening a lot on the left, which is that, I mean, I could put it on, I guess, but it's just, it gets hot, and I know it's gonna get hot in here really fast because I turned the AC off. So, I don't know why they can't figure out what they're doing. Trump is actually doing good things. We are closer to world peace than we've probably ever been when it comes to the state of things like North Korea. And despite that fact, it doesn't appear to matter to the left at all. Thank you for the Streamlabs donation. I need to pull that up. So, yes, and you can do Super Chats or Streamlabs either or. And I will not leave probably this on, just, that was really just for the, for the MAGA hat, because of course I couldn't find my Women for Trump pin, or I would have had that on too. And that's actually, because I don't like using Basecamp, I'll just put that back there. Anyway, yeah, so if you guys are out of the loop a little bit, there's been a lot going on of late with the Donald, where I think he's accomplished some fairly significant things. And rather than anyone acknowledging these in any kind of reasonable way, again, the left is losing their mind. So I'm gonna go over a couple of things today in terms of, wow, shit is, yeah, it's just, they cannot, I don't even know where to start. I have a couple of things up. I think I want to actually start with the G7 summit, excuse me, only because it's fucking hilarious. And of course, the most important thing to know about the G7 summit of late is, where is that? I put you, there you are, right there. This pretty much accurately sums up what happened. Yep. Now, I actually find something really fascinating about this image in particular, because of course what was happening in this image is that Merkel and Trudeau wanted Trump to sign this joint communique that was on, oh, we're all gonna have shared diplomatic goals, we're all gonna work together, you know? And Trump just said, no, fuck you, America is first, and I'm not going to sign your stupid little thing, because as of right now, what the EU, or at least what the people who were, and more accurately, what the members of the G7 summit were proposing was not in America's best interest. Therefore, go fuck yourself, which was fantastic. But one of the things I find so interesting about it is that this image was completely divisive on the left and right sides. As we know, as you guys know probably, I'm a conservative, I'm a Trump supporter, no duh. So when I saw this, I saw it as Trump saying, no, fuck you, you know, America first. You can't tell me how to run my country, the greatest country on earth. And by the way, oh, maybe before the end, we'll watch Jim's new video because it's fucking great. But to people on the left, and I was interested in seeing their opinion on it, they saw this as Trump being a baby, as being obstinate, as a little child who won't eat his dinner. And I just kind of find that interesting, that as with so many things, you know, perspective matters so deeply, that the exact same image could be perceived of in two completely oppositional manners. Yeah, it's just kind of interesting. But I found another article today, and we're gonna get into some of the articles and things I brought up now. I'm just totally gonna ape hard bastards, I guess. Okay, get rid of. Where are you? That one. Okay. So I found this today. In other words, basically, yeah, Trump wouldn't capitulate to the things that Merkel and Trudeau wanted, so they had to throw a big hissy fit. But this was really funny. I actually saw this article across several different news outlets that Trump apparently threw starbursts on a table before Merkel at the G7 summit and said, quote, "Don't say I never gave you anything." Holy fuck. Ian Bremmer, the Eurasia Group president, told CBS on Wednesday that President Donald Trump threw Starburst candies onto a table at the G7 summit for Chancellor Angela Merkel and said, "Here, Angela, don't say I never gave you anything." Bremer said the incident occurred near the end of the summit after world leaders pressured Trump to sign the joint communique. The summit was marked by tensions between Trump and U.S. allies over trade. Yeah, I mean, basically, it's not worth... Basically, Trump was asserting America's place in trade in this, right? Of being, yes, it's America first. You can't tell me what to do. You can't tell us what to do. And it does depend on your perspective, because a lot of people, particularly on the left, as usual, viewed this as Trump being obstinate and unwilling to work with the rest of the world. Is that true? Yeah, kind of, but did he have good reason for doing so? I would say yes, particularly when you look at what is the analysis or value of a president in terms of what they provide for the people. Well, they should be providing and answering the promises that they gave during their run for office. What is Trump doing, more or less, is, yeah, he's saying, you know, it is America first. We will be promoting and focusing on American trade and not on your stupid, you know, globalist European shit. I don't give a fuck about it. That's cool. That's all. That's really all I had to say about the G7 summit, other than I really wish there was a video of Trump actually throwing the starburst at Merkel. But let's move on, because that was the only thing I had to say about that. Whoop. Okay. And really, are you gonna freeze? Okay. So, as you know, on Monday, well, last week, so last Monday, Trump met with the dictator of North Korea, and it seems to have played out okay. It was pretty much the first time we've had any real communique with any of the North Korean dictators. It's the first time since, definitely for sure, since Kim Jong-un became dictator, or, you know, president, whatever, glorious leader, whatever the fuck his official title is. And it was astounding, because it really seemed as if, it looks as if, although we don't know yet, that maybe North Korea is going to back off their nuclear shit. The whole reason why we can't just, because I've heard people say this, why don't we just, you know, fuck these motherfuckers up, just, you know, drop a bomb on them. Well, if we do, then their retaliation is going to be against Seoul, and it's going to be, you know, thousands and hundreds of thousands of people dead. And obviously that's not optimal. But even though it was the first move, really, the first move that we've had in a very long time towards improving relationships with North Korea, not only that, but potentially towards creating a unified Korea. Something that, you know, everybody's been trying to do for a very long time, because North Korea is such a fucking shithole. A unified Korea would mean, well, I don't think we should have any much presence there anyway, in the DMZ. but it would mean we could demilitarize that area. It would mean just greater peace and happiness around the world. But despite that fact, the left has pretty much consistently still painted the fact that Trump met with Kim Jong-un and they seemed to at least come to the table as still somehow potentially negative. Oh, there's still some, oh, maybe he could still, you know, mess this up. Oh, how dare he talk to a dictator? But the interesting thing is, oh, I don't know, 2 months ago, 3 months ago, when North Korea, as they have been wont to do for years now, was firing off missiles, well, everyone on the left said, Donald Trump, he needs to make peace with North Korea because, you know, they're causing all these problems in East Asia. Well, now, look, there you go. He's making peace in East Asia. He's trying to solve this problem, and frankly, it appears to be working. Now, we don't know anything yet. They did, you know, technically sit down and say, yes, they're going to disarm, and then in repayment for that, we're going to stop the military exercises. It sounds like a win-win. It's almost like we fucking elected someone who wrote a book called Art of the Deal, whether or not he had a ghostwriter, okay? So Trump's thing, and the reason why he was elected in the first place, was because, oh, yeah, he can deal with these people. He can at least try to make a deal or try to you know, negotiate through these complicated and tenuous sort of circumstances. However, it doesn't appear to matter. As I said, I'll read the super chats and things in a minute. So this article from Vox, because of course, and this is just one, I've got some tweets too, although, I mean, it's very easy to find them. You literally, we'll go through with them. The Trump-Kim summit is the most dramatic and dangerous moment of Trump's presidency so far. So, I mean, okay. Let's get to this part. The problem at the heart of the Trump-Kim summit. To understand why experts worry about the meeting, what experts, okay? You need to understand one fundamental issue. Both sides can't agree about what to do with North Korea's nuclear program. Actually, we did decide pretty much what to do about the program, or at least we're working on deciding it, and it is disarmament. Now, it's probably going to be a short or a long-term process, excuse me, of slow disarmament. Much as, you know, sort of was the case between the US and Russia with, you know, we'll remove some troops, you get rid of some nukes, that kind of shit. So, of course it's not going to be overnight, but they've at least agreed so far to work towards disarmament, or at least to shutting down some of this shit. So, still, they're finding problems with it. Now, this isn't even the worst. This is at least a legitimate article, because the Twitter outrage, as is usual from the blue checkmark dickheads, is just jungle tumble, absolute insanity, incoherence. Basically, the United States wants North Korea to dismantle its nuclear program. Duh. That means Pyongyang would have to destroy reactors and buildings, give away documents with designs and calculations, and hand off missiles that can carry nuclear bombs to America. Duh. And the reason why they should do that is because we have a whole bunch of ships hanging around right outside, ready to respond if Rocket Man decides to do anything fucking stupid. But Kim has no incentive whatsoever to agree to that. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Because we will go to war. This was, I don't like saber-rattling, okay? And I thought some of what Trump was doing was saber-rattling. But maybe it was really just an intimidation tactic, and if you want to call that good or bad, it's, you know, whatever your perspective. But it does seem to me that this was a persuasion tactic that was used to say, hang on, I mean business. I'm not my predecessor. I'm not going to sit around and let you fucking shoot these missiles all over the place and develop this nuclear program and potentially severely and significantly harm one of our allies. So, Kim has no incentive to agree to that? Yes, he does. Kim wants to remain in power in some way. If the US in any way invades or attacks North Korea, Kim is gonzo. You're done, and he has to know that. This is why they play ball as much as they are. And I think that Trump has made it clear that we're not playing this fucking game anymore. We're not just, you know, oh, you gotta go around there and whatever, you know, do whatever you want. I have really delicious iced lemonade. It's so good. So, but if you want to call it saber rattling, by saber rattling, I mean more like when we actually go in and do invade people. Although I guess, yeah, it is an intimidation tactic. The fact of the matter is, it worked, apparently. Or at least it looks like it's working. I can't say yet, obviously nobody can, but the fact that this Vox article just outright says he has no incentive is an absurdity. Kim reportedly worries about what happened to Muammar Gaddafi. Yeah, you probably should. You should worry. You should look at what happens to people who fuck with us this way. And I'm not an interventionalist, but at this point, we have a country that is threatening us. They're definitely more or less threatening California. I'm not saying I necessarily mind if they drop a couple bombs on California. That is a joke, by the way, before that gets clipped out of context. That is a joke. Partially. But this is the whole thing. This is ridiculous that, well, yes, of course he looks at Gaddafi as a rationale for why he wouldn't want to fuck with us. And that's a good thing, though. And luckily, it looks like it might actually play out okay. We don't know yet, but so far, I mean, Jesus, like, this is great. I mean, the idea of a unified Korea is good for the entire world, pretty much. So when all of a sudden you see, articles like this that are kind of saying, a propaganda win for Kim that damages the U.S. position because we don't submit our propaganda anymore? Okay, but this is part of making a deal. You're talking about disarming nukes versus, okay, we won't play propaganda at your people anymore. Now, they're gonna keep doing it, but, it's the first step. Diplomacy doesn't happen overnight. As far as I'm concerned, this is really, like, an incredibly significant thing in terms of the world stage. And the idea that it's being poo-pooed or ignored somehow, or people are saying that, this is actually bad in the long run. Under this scenario, the US and North Korea go to war, denuclearization by force. Unfortunately, at some point, yeah, that's very potential, Vox, but that's why we went to the summit and didn't just keep fucking with them. That was the whole point of this. Now, I've seen some articles about it, but Twitter is really where you want to go if you want to see the fucking hot takes. Let's see. We can go through a couple of these. Fuck you. Okay. Here's some blue checkmark cockbag. What does he say? Okay. Muslim bans baby jails. We'll get into some of those. Human rights rollbacks, minority suppression, Nazi endorsements, alliances with Russia and North Korea, abuse of power. This is only his first term. This one's actually June 19th. Imagine the damage he'll do if he gets a second term. We need to stop this monster now. Who is this fucking asshole? Hologram content creator. Get fucked. But I mean, again, all you have to do is just go to Twitter, type in North Korea, and you'll find plenty of these. Just people complaining about how awful it is. Oh no, how dare Donald Trump will talk to Kim Jong-un, it's unbelievable. We're making friends with dictatorships. No, it's diplomacy, you fucking moron. I mean, for fuck's sake. Oh, hey, Thomas Victor, he's cool. That's probably why that shows up. But, oh, yeah. Oh, okay, so this is a kind of narrative. Now, this person's not a blue check mark, so I'm less likely to take them seriously. But, Trump starts a trade war. No, he didn't. Only I can fix this horrible problem. You're welcome. No. Trump makes things worse with North Korea. No, North Korea was just being North Korea, and then Trump went and fixed it. This is just the kind of narrative that they... Oh, no signs of denuclearization yet from North Korea, according to Mattis. True, but I also don't think that it's reasonable to expect them to respond within 6 days. So I would hope that they do soon, and if not, again, we'll have to look at other forms of recourse. But I've been seeing this shit on Twitter, and not just on Twitter, but, across the internet now, since the summit, of just people losing their fucking minds and being absolutely infuriated that Trump did a good thing, or at least is working towards doing a good thing. And, fuck Bolton, to be honest. But he's really trying to, apparently, as far as I can tell, get this shit resolved. And it's a stark contrast because, as I said, a few months ago, they were all angry about, oh, Trump's going to cause a war with Korea, Trump's going to cause a war with North Korea. And now he's trying to make peace with North Korea and doing it in a way that appears to have significant potential outcomes. And, just fucking mad about that, too. There's absolutely nothing he can do right. Like I said, the man could fucking cure cancer, and there would still be somebody pissed off. Ugh. I'm gonna read some super chats, and then I'm gonna show you guys a video if you didn't see it yet. That'll actually be easier to read it over here. Oh my god, first of all, Incel Casanova, thank you so much. Holy shit, for the $100. Oh my god. Thank you, man. Holy fuck. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you again. Wow, everybody, yeah, thank Incel Casanova. Rando number 9 for 5 says, friendly reminder that according to Wikipedia, these detention centers are considered concentration camps. It's another Showa goees. Yeah, we can watch the, I think is it MSNBC or is it CNN where the one guy says, these are trial concentration camps. We're gonna look at one of them if you haven't seen it yet, guys. Dave Cullen did a fantastic video on it. Perfect amount of sarcasm and joking and actual information. It's icy. With frozen lemonade. Wasteland Nomad for 2 says, left lacks self-awareness for calling him childish. Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think anybody can be childish, obviously, and Trump certainly can be childish. He often is. I mean, he fucking threw Starburst at Merkel. That is by definition pretty much childish, but it's also really funny. I think it's their inability to have a giggle at themselves that makes them not fun and why they're losing. I think that, you know, in politics, they're obviously incredibly serious, but just that's why Trump actually has the sway he has. I've heard so many people say, well, you're a middle class or even lower class, working class person. Why would you vote for a billionaire? Because Trump is precisely what every working, not everyone, but most of us, working lower middle class people would do if we all had $1 billion. We'd just be total assholes, I think, with it, right? It's called fuck you money for a reason. Dread Cassowary says, Aiden, check out Morley Gray's work. He's friggin' amazing. Also, do you Q? I don't know Morley Gray, and I don't know what you mean by do I Q. IQ? What? No. Mike Phelan for 5 says, will you be covering the ICD-11 gaming disorder thing in the future? Frankly, there's no reason or rationale, as I covered in the video I just put out on pornography use, there's no reason that we would expect, because there is actually a significant amount of research that's extant that I did read while I was conducting this research on porn, because there isn't actually a large wealth of data that specifically concerns porn addiction. There is a lot on masturbation addiction, not a lot on porn addiction, astoundingly, and to my surprise. There's a lot with internet use addiction. There's a lot with internet gaming addiction. And what it is that with all behaviors, we find fairly consistently that a repeated behavior that produces a reaction within the reward center causes an increase of the flow of dopamine to the ventral striatum, and as a result of that, it makes you feel rewarded, but it also makes you feel really good. The more dopamine, the better you feel. The problem is that a prolonged exposure to an excessive amount of dopamine can cause problems in the amygdala and its ability to, in the extended amygdala, and its ability to produce dopamine in the brain's ability to produce the amount of dopamine that is necessary to maintain that high, right? So what happens is that we want more and more and more dopamine, and yet our brains become physically incapable of producing, and they just start to produce less and less. You end up in a cycle of you get the release, you get the good feeling, then you get a very negative, bad, actually it's the same, the extended amygdala area, which is activated when there's a lack of dopamine after the initial surge, is the same area of the brain that's associated with fear and pain. So as a result, you feel great, and then when you're withdrawing from the great happy feeling, you feel extremely distressed. And what happens as a result is a desire to return to the happiness feeling, thus a cycle of addiction. Now, video games very much elicit reward. So, I mean, in every way, what the fuck is a achiever? I got an achieve. Well, an achieve is a little jolt to your reward system, and in fact, we've done studies on this with World of Warcraft and how it very much mimics a Skinner box of, you know, mice. So a Skinner box is B.F. Skinner's research on behavioral psychology, which is essentially that the mice push a button and it gives them a pellet of food. And because the mice realize that getting the pellet of food, that is what activates, because eating, which is the same reason eating is a disorder that's recognized, is because eating food has the exact same response, pleasure response, because we should feel good when we eat because we need to eat to live. Everything about our pleasure response is generally related to, although it can be removed, but these are all these evolutionary, sorry I'm going on about this a lot, but it's interesting to me. These evolutionary structures that we have within the brain. They don't exist for no reason. Anyway, the point is that the mice, it pushes a button, it gets a pellet. It pushes the button more and more and more because it realizes every time it pushes the button, it gets a pellet. But then we start to take that away, and it starts to be that only sometimes the button will release the food pellet. The mouse will sit there and just smash that like button over and over, just consistently without doing anything else. And the thing that's fascinating about that is it indicates that even when they stop getting the reward, they'll continue the behavior because they need that reward as so much. So that's, in terms of the gaming disorder, the thing is probably yes, video game addiction could very much be considered an addiction or disorder. The same as almost any other kind of repetitive behavior that activates the pleasure center of the brain could be. So I don't actually have a real issue with it, with the way other people do, I think, because just because of understanding the way that the psychology behind it works. That was a long answer, but thanks, Mike Phelan. A hipster elephant for 5 says, I swore on my life I would never donate to any streams, but I enjoy your content. Thank you. Thank you for breaking my promise to myself. TW4T? Twat? Oh, twat. Okay. I forgot that YouTube makes it so you can't fucking swear anymore. Warhawk0901 for 10, thank you, says, they're all mad because Trump has the one thing they lack. A spine. Leftist politicians are so used to being able to bully people into submission. They can't handle being told no. I think that's partially true, because that's sort of Trump's appeal, right? Is that he just doesn't give a shit what anyone else thinks. Again, it's the sort of fuck you money aspect of him. It's not just fuck you money, it's fuck you politics, I do what I want. And that is his appeal, I suppose, and I like him or hate him, he really does not fit any of the molds, and that allows him to benefit in some ways and potentially be a detriment to his political career in contrast. Scanner Daphne for 5 says, Aiden Wokaden, thank you. Oof, hang on. Again, yeah, thank you, Incel Casanova. Belial1125 for 5 says, Trevor Noah actually had something of value to say in regards to our parliament. Just because the opposite side is trying to push it, don't mean it's bad. No, that's absolutely not true. I don't know what, I mean, that's absolutely true, I'm sorry. Just because the other side says it does not mean it's bad. They often do have good points. It's just that usually, and Trevor Noah is a rare one, but they seem to have got this, Trump derangement syndrome, if you want to call it that, where they become incapable of making logical statements just because, oh, it's Trump. We have to be oppositional to him. And, I didn't vote for Obama, but I just never remember I was never this way towards Obama, just, oh, Obama did a thing, thanks, Obama. No, I mean, there were people like that, that's without question, but still. Unhyphenated American for 14 says, what are your thoughts on why blacks did so much better before the CR movement, the civil rights movement, than they are today? The low IQ argument does not explain why they did so much better back then and not now. Well, this is another one that I could talk about for like an hour alone. A couple of things. The main thing is the massive increase in the welfare state and the removal of the black father. Now, you can blame the drug war on that, but I really do think that it was more welfare's fault. Drug war didn't help, but where did that come from in the first place? I don't think that it started with the drug war. Moreover, you could also say that the blacks before civil rights movement had more reason to integrate than they did afterwards, because I don't think that, Alt-Hype did a really great video on this about the slaves before and after, or emancipated slaves before and after the Civil War. And the slaves who were self-emancipated or emancipated by their masters in some way, who moved into cities in the north and other places, essentially acclimated, according to the writings of the time. Now, you can judge that for yourself, how accurate the accounts were from, emancipated blacks of their own accord during that period. But it seems as though they wanted to acclimate to white society, and they were probably more intelligent, so that's potentially a factor. But really, it's the welfare state, and more than anything, it is probably the removal of the black father, of the replacement of the black father with the state as the father figure, which is truly, the problem. I mean, 75% of black children today are born to unwed mothers and are raised in single mother households. Actually, I think it's 83%, excuse me. It's horrific. That is a terrifying number of children to be born into unwed households, knowing what we know about the negative effects of single parenthood, not just from the psychology, but the economic standpoint. Yeah, there's a lot to go into there. I think I would also highly recommend reading Charles Murphy's book, Coming Apart, excuse me. It really expands upon what his actual thesis was behind the bell curve, which was not to prove, blacks are stupid, as troglodytes would like to claim. His thesis is actually that the widening IQ gap is causing part of this change that we see in society. And he mentions that, for example, blacks were much more similar to whites than they were back in the 60s and the 50s than they are now. He says part of that is because of access to jobs, but also, obviously there is a cultural aspect there. It's not all IQ. Strange Wiggly Stuff for 2 says, "Hey Aiden, just wanted to say keep it up, thank you." Dire Thunder's Your Waifu for 5 says, "Had to listen to NPR at work today. Wanted to rip my ears off." Sometimes NPR can be okay, but they're also extremely cucked most of the time. Thank you. Field of Bears. Oh, wait, hang on. Field of Bears for 2 says, "Trump put all on colleges out of work, the brute." Yeah, that would be. I know how terrible of him if he cured cancer. What a absolute fucking mad lad, a terrible man. Potato King for 10 said the Democratic People's Republic of Korea has been incredibly cooperative with the U.S. for these negotiations. They stopped playing propaganda, stopped missile tests, and military exercises. Yeah. Exactly. We've already seen them make moves towards this. The denuclearization is the plan, right? But the fact that they haven't done that immediately is absurd. We have to give some concessions too, and that's going to take time. We have a lot of troops in the DMZ. So again, one of the things that I think would make sense is that you take out some of your nukes, we'll remove some of our troops, or something like that, where we try to, or we'll move one of our ships away. Something like that. That seems to be a reasonable trade-off. A deal, would you have it? Merc for 5 says, "Donation to the Sweet Heat Spicy Starburst Fund." Do they have this? That's a thing? Sweet Heat Starburst? That sounds awesome. Jackson Dune for 5 says, "What Democrat do you think will have the best chance at beating Trump?" Kamala Harris seems the best only because she's a whammon and black. Kamala Harris is a total mess. She's a terrible choice. But she probably is the one they're going to run with because whammon and black. The irony, of course, being that running on your status as part of a, quote, minority is one of the many reasons why everyone despised Hillary. Even women didn't vote for her, at least not white women, but you're always getting the black vote, Democrats, you know that. So, no. Just being like, my vagina, my skin color, that doesn't work. No one else is into this fucking identity politics shit. Stealth Creations for 20 says, "When talking about Article 13 regarding linking online in Europe, are we seeing a united agreement in the EU? Should we expect the deal to matter with the EU falling very soon from Italy, Germany government? Might Britain defy this?" I'm really worried about Article 13 because that's a fucking nightmare. Again, maybe we'll end by playing Jim's video. Oh man. It was very American. But I'm worried about it really because it passed the first stage. This doesn't necessarily mean anything. The problem is that we don't know how it would be implemented, and it's not just Italy and Germany. I don't know about Germany, exactly how they're going to fare with this, because it still looks like Merkel's party, Christian Democrats or whatever they're called, that they're still predominantly in power. So I don't see any major change in Germany, even though the AfD has surpassed the SPD in terms of polling, but I don't know about Germany. Poland and Hungary want fucking nothing to do with this, though. Italy is really looking like they want nothing to do with it, considering they, what was the name of the ship they told to go fuck off? Obviously the UK voted for Brexit, but it's looking like they might not be able to get out before something like this is implemented. So the problem is with a thing like Article 13 is that not only do you have to pass the law, then you have to, by their own words, they stated this was an issue of they don't know how they would implement the technology that would be this kind of incredibly precise content detection. Now, as someone who works on YouTube, let me tell you, it's already extremely obnoxious and annoying. One time I played in a video Charlton Heston's From My Cold Dead Hand speech, and I got copyrighted, the whole video, which means the video was copyright claimed by somebody for the 30-second clip of Charlton Heston speaking at the NRA. Was claimed, meaning someone else made all the money off of the video until it went through the thingy, by a rap group that used the clip of Charlton Heston in one of their fucking songs. That's how stupid this shit is. And if YouTube is anything to go off of in terms of how that content detection is going to work, that's really, really bad. That's not good. That's, yeah, it means memes can't exist. Memes will be dreams. I think I'm almost done. Thank you guys, though. Leanne Martin for 2 says, a shekel for the bad goy. Thank you. Son of Tiamat for 2 says, Baraka Hussein didn't do Otamba Obama Sheikh Mohammed. Yet another just crusade for 5 says, leave stream up. I need to download for work tomorrow. Also, don't forget Streamlabs comments. Oh, shoot. Yeah, thanks, guys. Sorry. Tyler Preston for 2 said, Aiden, U-Rock and Rational Disconnect is a cuck. Who's that again? I forget. Shoot. Midnight in Exile for 5 says, giving liberals an inch of ground is a bad idea. They don't give a damn about American children in homeless and poverty because of illegals. Oh, well, friend, it's a good thing you mentioned that because I got a thing. I did a number. I really fucking did, because of course I did. I crunched some numbers on this for you guys. But first, I want to show you guys something, because if you all didn't happen to see this, it's really beautiful. The left's kind of freaking out about it too, because they think it's awful. I think it's amazing. So I don't know if you have seen the trailer for Peace that Trump, fuck you, Guardian, that Trump played for, that Trump played for Kim Jong-un at lunch, and then played in front of a bunch of journalists before he let them talk, and ask questions. Oh my god, it's so good. Hang on. Sorry, let me start over. I had it turn on.
Today, only a small number will leave a lasting impact. And only the very few will make decisions or take actions that renew their homeland and change the course of history. History may appear to repeat itself for generations.
Like, it's totally cringy, but
Never seem to end.
I also love it.
There have been times of relative peace and times of great tension. While this cycle repeats, the light of prosperity and innovation has burned bright for most of the world. History is always evolving, and there comes a time when only a few are called upon to make a difference. But the question is, what difference will the few make? The past doesn't have to be the future. Out of the darkness can come the light. And the light of hope can burn bright. What if a people that share a common and rich heritage can find a common future? Their story is
could have
well
gotten
known.
someone.
But what
They could have made it
will be their
less
sequel?
Stereotypical, but I'll tell you why I actually think this was the right
Destiny
thing to do.
Pictures presents a story of opportunity.
Why I don't think this was stupid.
A new story, a new beginning. One of peace, 2 men, 2 leaders, 1 destiny. A story about a special moment in time when a man is presented with one chance that may never be repeated. What will he choose? To show vision and leadership?
It's so
Or
cheesy.
not?
But okay, that's all I think. Is it going? I think it goes on for a while. Yeah.
Are ready.
You guys get the idea. It's like a cheesy trailer. So a lot of people basically said, "Oh my god, this is awful. This is how could Drumful play this in front of Kim Jong-un? Like how could he play this? It's so incredibly embarrassing and cheesy, and it's so pro-Trump." But here's the thing. we know about this guy that he actually loves American media and loves to consume it and is super into things that are imported from that, particularly like, you know, Hollywood blockbusters. What do you think would appeal to Rocket Man? I just think that a really stupid, cringy, completely generic summer blockbuster trailer probably made him go, oh fuck yeah, you know, like he probably loved the shit out of this. I just would imagine that's why. And I think that Trump knew exactly what he was doing when he commissioned whatever this thing is. I just would be my anticipation. This was designed so that that Kim Jong-un would think it was neat, would look at. It's just another way of negotiating with him. One, he wants to remain in power. Two, yeah, he's fucking probably mentally very childish because he's been a dictator his entire life. I think it was a good move. So all the people saying, oh, I can't believe Trump would make something this stupid, or that the White House would produce something this dumb. Yes, it's dumb. Yes, it's really cringy and cheesy. But I don't think it was misplaced. I think that it was intentional to appeal to him. And, you know, you could disagree with me. That's just my anticipation, or my thoughts. Oh, real quick, what do we have next? So we're gonna have to talk, obviously. Well, let's do first. We can't get into the topic without. Oh, I don't know whose video this is.
Who was taken from her mother and put in a cage.
Wah,
I read
wah.
about a did you say want to a 10-year-old with Down syndrome
What
being
I
taken
said
from
is
her
you can
mother?
pick anything
How
you
dare
want
you?
up, but the bottom line
How
is very
dare
clear.
you?
When you
How
cross
absolutely
the border
dare you, sir?
illegally,
This
you
thumb
have
is so
given
angry.
the rights of
infants
this
that are being
country.
taken from
Look,
their
we
mothers.
are a country
We
with
have
borders. We are a
infants that are
country
being
of laws.
stolen from their
And when
mothers
you
and put into
choose to
cages.
cross this country
And you
illegally,
go, wah,
your
wah.
parents will understand
Is this
this.
just
They understand something
exemplary?
Nobody can hear when you
very
both talk. So
When
wait.
you
Oh my
cross
God.
the border
How dare you,
illegally,
sir?
when
How
you commit
dare
a
you?
crime, you are taken away from
She
your
has
family.
Down
'Cause that's
syndrome
how
and
this
she was
country
taken from her
works.
mother.
All right, Zach,
You go to
hold
any
on, Corey.
country in the
Let's
world,
get Zach to
and when
finish
you
his
commit
point.
a crime, you are taken from your parents
There
in
is a
any country in the
reason.
world.
There is a
Let's
reason
let
why
Zach in.
faith groups. There is a reason why 12 Republican senators sent a letter begging this
boy.
administration to reverse this policy. There is a reason why the governor of New York is suing this administration to stop this policy. This policy is abhorrent. It is offensive
All right.
to all
Where were you
moral
during
Get your
people.
rage out there, little guy. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this thumb, he is very, well, more of a cue ball, I suppose. He's very riled up, but Womp Womp is now, I think, maybe officially the best meme of 2018. Is that the best meme of the year? I think so. Look, he's not wrong though, and the Womp Womp thing, although it's dismissive, it's correct. You broke the law. You broke the fucking law. You came here illegally. And now you have to suffer the consequences. And unfortunately for them, your children have to suffer some of the consequences too. Because you broke the law, and now we have to figure out what the fuck to do about it. And it's not like we're the only country that does this. Australia does this. Every country does this. He's completely correct. Every single country has detention centers for things like this. Well, not maybe everyone, but most other Western countries have detention centers like this. Because we have to figure out what the fuck to do with people while they're being processed. Now, the thing is, if America really was a dictatorship, and Trump really was a fascist, we would not be taking these kids and putting them into these facilities, even if you want to call it a cage, although, well, if you guys have seen, I actually don't have it up because it's on my phone, but the truth versus media narrative on the children in cages thing, let me find it real quick. The way this image was actually portrayed. Yeah, okay. So here we go. Yeah, come on. Alright. Pull it up. Okay. I don't know this website, but I did see this earlier, so. Oh. Come on. So, this was, of course, the image that was plastered all over the media of Trump is putting children in cages. Oh my god, can you believe this poor little boy? He's literally in a cage. Oh, wait, it was a protest. Oh, whoops. And there's multiple images of this. I'm not saying that everyone is spreading this image, but it is true that this image in particular is bullshit. That's that kid. There's multiple pictures of it. What's not fake, however... Where did you go? Not that one. We will get to that. Where did I put this? Oh, here it is. Okie dokie. My internet's being really slow today. Well, my computer's just being slow. Why? Okay, neato. Just not gonna load. So this image is not fake, however, as many of you may have seen going around on the internet. So of course, the problem here is that, oh no, Trump is taking children and putting them into cages. He's literal Hitler. Look, we've been saying it. What the fuck? Why did it... Is it just Business Insider's website? It's gotta be my shitty fucking computer. Ugh. Alright. Keep up this time, you piece of shit. Anyway. So, the argument is that, yeah, Trump is taking all of these innocent children who didn't do nothing, and I admit, you know what? In most cases, probably the kids didn't do nothing. They can't control their fucking parents, obviously. Usually their parents bring them here. It's not their fault. Now, we'll get into the fact that not all of them were brought here by their parents. Some of them were actually, you know, they came here over on their own, but they're still minors, and because they're minors, we can't process them as adults. We can't, you know, prosecute or process them as adults. They have to be treated differently. They're fucking minors. This is just basic information, and one of the reasons, do you want to know one of the reasons why? Not just the Trump administration, but as we see here, the Obama administration did this same shit of splitting up children from adults is because there is a massive problem with child trafficking from South America. Oftentimes, these kids are being trafficked. It's not their parents or guardians. It's somebody who wants to take them into this country and sell them as a sex slave. So for fuck's sake, god damn, that's why okay, first of all, that's one reason that that's extremely dangerous. The other reason is, yeah, because we can't try them as adults. The adults we can deal with, but the children have to be dealt with in a different way. They're not adults. Now, again, if we were evil, we would just, if we were truly evil, if Trump was truly evil, just fucking kick them all back over the border and say, get fucked, I guess. But we do have to have this thing called kind of process of law, which astoundingly, that you would never get the idea actually happens according to the left, we do follow. We do still follow due process. We don't just fucking exterminate these people or put them in cages. And again, this image, this is from 2014, under the Obama administration. All of these images are from 2014, under the Obama administration. This is not under Trump. This is Obama. So, all of this outrage that is being generated, that Trump is taking these kids, all of these, I mean, look, it looks awful, right? It looks awful. Unfortunately, though, when you're talking about people, too, where you have a massive influx of people who are not U.S. citizens, don't pay any taxes, they're here, I know it looks terrible, it looks really very uncomfortable, but everything that's involved in the maintenance and care of this facility, every cot, every blanket, every porta potty that's here is paid for and maintained on the dime of the U.S. citizens. No one involved in this paid a penny towards this maintenance and construction. Uh-oh, what's playing? Okay, we'll get to that in a second. I don't know why it just randomly decided to play, but okay. Oh my god, my internet is being so fucking weird today. Anyway, so this was, you know, absolute grade A, unquestionable media bullshit, and they got called out for it too. Who originally tweeted this? John Favreau, who worked as a speechwriter for Obama, tweeted, "This is happening right now, and the only debate that matters is how we force our government to get these kids back to their families as fast as humanly possible." And then deleted his fucking tweet as soon as he realized it was under Obama that these pictures were taken. So, I mean, I don't want to see people kept in inhumane conditions, but at the same time, what are we supposed to do? Oh, it turns out we actually are doing a lot better if all that you care about is the welfare of kids. I've not seen kids who are here illegally, whose parents have brought them here illegally, who have broken a felony law, are being kept in these, quote, inhumane conditions. And if you think, I'm not saying this shit looks great, but to me it looks like, I don't know, a refugee center, as you would see in Haiti or something else. Not Haiti, but, you know, in a country that is, or an area that is, you would see this in Atlanta. I saw things exactly like this during hurricanes. You see, you know, things that are set up that are temporary, that are very, very similar to this in appearance, because it's well, partially intended to be temporary, but also because it's intended to minimize costs. Why is it intended to minimize costs? Because it's all on the taxpayer's dime, and these are not taxpayers. But in contrast, let's look at the facilities in 2018. I know everyone's seen this now, probably. Oh wow, it's clean. Oh, look at all this. Yeah, geez, how absolutely abysmal. All well, I would say, this is New 52. Whose art is this? My brain's not working right now. But I know whose art this is too. God damn it. Why is my, I can't recall it. It's not coming because I'm in another frame of mind. You got some comic book characters on the wall. It's a DC. Looks, you know, it's clearly they've got plenty of food and milk. Again, Dave Cullen made a good video on this. Oh my god, they're allowed to play football or soccer, whatever. Wowee. Oh my god. You know, and I know people have been showing this video. InfoWars has been showing it all day. Of yeah, look. Compare this though, and I'm not saying they're all like this, but compare this, because there are some that still look like the other ones, the processing centers. But this is what it looks like to be a child who is taken from their family in 2018. If your parents brought you here illegally or you came here illegally. Do you have any idea how much money it must cost to run a facility like this? I mean, I don't know. I would just say you could compare this to something like a elder care facility, right? In terms of, it probably has most of the same, probably less of the medical stuff, but, you know, food, housing, clearly it's cleanly. So, and you're talking about having a lot of people who work here who have to be paid. This is a lot of taxpayer dollars that are going into stuff like this. And there's just no mention of it, but we'll get to it because it gets actually even worse. I want to just point out another one that I found from a few weeks ago, or last week, I guess. Oof, come on. Why is it being so shitty today? Oh my god.
Well, just days after.
Okay, I don't really want to listen to it, but I'll just go through because this is a different facility. But they want to cut it out. They don't want you to see much of it, you know. Wow, I mean, looks pretty good to me. Not great. Actually, I don't know. It looks alright. It's like a chicken sandwich, mac and cheese, a salad. I guess pretty good. They have a couple of images here, though. Again, these are not cots with you know, hazard blankets. Now, is that comfortable? No, that's tight. But guess what? I've stayed in hostels before. God damn it, I've stayed in them pretty much willingly because it's cheaper than a hotel. So, yeah, I mean, this is not a concentration camp. I think Cullen said it looked like a summer camp. To me, it looks like a hostel. You know, again, adults stay in hostels all the time. Oh well, yeah, this looks so horrible. This is a fucking concentration. Look at how depressing this looks. Or it's either this here. Oh, they even have a kid. Oh, I thought that, you know, they were separating the kids with Down syndrome. They've got a kid in a wheelchair. They've got a laptop. Well, I guess they're doing something with it to process them. But this does this look like a concentration camp? God damn. It's absolutely absurd. Okay, I guess these are the things. Oh, look, they have phone booths. How awful is that? No, that allows them to make calls. They're not restricting them from access to talking to their parents. They're actively allowing for it. This is absolutely absurd. This is the thing. This shit right here is what has sparked the insane media outrage. That these are concentration camps. Oh, it's in an old Walmart. That's the problem. What are they doing? Like Tai Chi or some shit? So they got in a Tai Chi instructor or I don't know, some kind of, but they've got physical fitness, exercise, medical we saw, food, you know, obviously housing that is not on a cot. This is absolutely absurd. And as I went over, There are reasons why we split them up from adults. Oh, man. I'm fucking pissed. Before we get through what happened with this, because, as you guys probably know, whoops, something happened today. Oh, you want to do one more thing, and then I'll move on. Okay, so the New York Times claimed that that the Trump administration lost 1,500 immigrant children. I think, did they actually make the change on the article yet? Because I think they did. No, they did not on their article. Some other articles have had to make changes because it found out that this is complete bullshit. This is absolute lie. What happened is that these 1,475 migrant children who were lost by the Trump administration were not lost. They were moved from government care into foster care. So last year, the Department of, okay, this is exactly it. The nearly 1,500 children came into the country without their parents, thus could not have been ripped from their parents' arms, nor could they have been described as lost as initially claimed. Last year, the Department of Health and Human Services reached out to sponsors of the 7,635 children they had helped place in homes to check on their status. They learned that 6,000 of the children were still with their sponsors, 28 had run away, 5 had been removed from the US, and 52 had been relocated to live with a non-sponsor. The rest were unaccounted for, giving the rise of the number 1475. But that doesn't mean they're lost. And I think that there's been another update on this. This is a Daily Wire article. But from what I've heard, it apparently appears that they were actually, if I can find the other one that I read earlier, this is not the one I was looking for then, that they were placed actually in foster cares, or in care, or with someone outside of the state. So, yeah, I said typed in retraction. Let me put something on, and I'll look for something. I'll look for that real quick. No. I'll find it before the end, and I will give the source that says that basically we did find them, more or less, so this ended up being bullshit. But either way, it was bullshit in the first place. They didn't lose anybody. I wanted to talk about this real quick, though, because, a big question, or not a question, but a really good point to bring up about this, is that, look, when your parents commit a crime, if you are a minor, guess what? You get taken away from your parents. If you don't have any other person to take care of you, the state has to take care of you. This happens for anyone who commits a fucking crime. So I pulled up, just for, you know, fucking shits and giggles, the numbers on the number of children who are in the care of the state, and at least I don't have the exact numbers, but I have it based on this National Conference of State Legislatures document from 2009, of how many children are in state custody because their parents are incarcerated, okay? So let's look at the basic numbers here, right? So the number of children with a father in prison increased from 881,500 in 1991 to more than 1.5 million in 2007. And then, we'll just look at the current numbers. So as of 2007, a bit dated, but I can make some inferences and instances. We can kind of guess, you know, off of this. So 1.5 million men, fathers in prison, and 147,400 women in prison. Now, we have to look at the number of children what happens to them in terms of their well-being and who cares for them. Okay, so the vast majority, 84% of parents incarcerated in state prisons reported to the Bureau of Justice Statistics that at least one of their children was in the care of the other parent. 15% indicated as caregivers the grandparents, 6% other relatives, and 3% reported that at least one child was in a foster home, agency, or institution. So 3% overall sample. It's 11% men, 2% women. So when you crunch the numbers on that, based on it, 11% from female parents and 2% from male parents respectively, based on the numbers I cited above, That means 16,214 children are in foster care who are the children of incarcerated mothers, and potentially up to 30,000 children of incarcerated fathers. Although I'm not exactly sure if that's how they meant for these to be interpreted, but we could say fairly consistently that there's probably about 30,000 children who are in state care because simply their parents are incarcerated. Compare that to what the issue is here. Oh, 2,000 children being kept in state care. No. We're talking about 30,000. This is how this works. You cannot, if you're in jail, you can't take care of your kid. If you're in a processing center because you committed a federal felony, you cannot be taking care of your kids. And that's not even counting the entire problem with the child trafficking. So, real quickly before we wrap up with kind of the real topic today, of what just happened this evening, that is, again, driving the left fucking bonkers for no just, incomprehensible reason. Let me read some stuff. So, super chats. Let me see. Let me refresh. Or no, Streamlabs. Okay, did I read this one? Okay, George Sorass donated 5 on Streamlabs and said, hang on, Swampmore Bent. Also, 45 is the one-stop shop. One-stop shop. Fingers crossed for 2020. Yeah, I obviously am a fan of Trump. Thank you for the Streamlabs donation. And then... Where was I? Mind's Eye, we do a... For 2 says, will you later do a video on the children issue? Yeah, that's what we're covering. Red Wolf Core revamped for 5 says, Dems get the main black vote because a lot of black voters don't want real freedom. Their brains are still stuck on the plantation. Mine gulag. I don't know if that's entirely it. I think it's also a lot of social, there's a lot of pressure there to say, if you don't do this, you will be ostracized from our community. And of course, social identity and tribalism is an inherently important part of being human. So you don't want to be, ostracized from your group. Alec Urban for 2 says, someone called the Wambulance. I'm guessing that was over the womp womp. Riken Sarah for 2 says, who put Trump's face on a Byzantine icon? I don't know. I googled Trump saint and found that image just because my whole idea was, yeah, like he could cure cancer. He could literally just walk on water and raise Lazarus from the dead, and they'd still be like, well, maybe Lazarus wanted to be dead. Insult Casanova for 5 says, nobody tell JF. Okay. Thank you. And thank you again. For the 100, Alec Urban for 5 says, they're miners. Good, the coal industry needs more workers. Oh, that's good. Actually, we have too many workers. We don't have enough open positions and mines anymore. Richard Dewey for 10 says, illegals even stealing felonies from our felons. Yeah, bet. Rando number 9 for 5 says, the kids are crying because they don't want to be sent back to their shitty parents. Maybe. I mean, look, I get it. Your life is going to be way better here. I understand it. But unfortunately, you just have to follow the same process as everyone else. Am I privileged because I was born in the United States compared to, I don't know, Zimbabwe? Yes, but that doesn't mean that that everything is equal. Life isn't fair. I think that's a big crux of a lot of this. Life's not fair, and that sucks. I'm sorry. But there's no legislation, no amount of legislation, no amount of government influence that you can ever incur that would make the world fair. Thank you. Warhawk 0901 for 20, thank you, says, the only reason the Democratic Party is even trying to raise hell about this is because they see these kids and their parents as a piece of property, tools to be used and discarded once they outlive their political purposes. I agree, absolutely. They don't give a shit about these people. It's why they consistently behave this way. So, as we will get into, if you guys are not aware, tonight Trump said, okay, you guys are so angry about these kids in cages, as you say, it's over now. We won't do it anymore. Instead, we're just gonna reunite them at the border. We won't separate anybody. You just get the fuck back over on your side of the wall as soon as the wall's built. Please start that soon. I know they're starting it, but get that fucking wall built and just boot boot them off. But now that's an issue too because, oh no, you're still trying to get rid of them. Well, of course we are. They're illegals. They are not here legally. They're not US citizens. You don't just get to come here and live on welfare and live on government services that you don't pay for. I'm sorry. I know that it's hard. I can't imagine how hard it is to grow up and live in a third world country. It must be absolutely fucking abysmal. But that doesn't mean that you can break our laws and seriously fuck up our society and economy. And I'm not saying fuck up because brown people are bad even. I'm saying you are changing the population distribution. The number of these low-skilled workers, you're bringing in all these people who need government assistance, and it's just not going to work. It's not okay. It has serious, as we've seen, detrimental effects on the economy and our society. So, no, you don't get to. You have to go back. You have to go back. Bar One Studios for Two says, is Aiden planning a Lauren Southern cosplay? No, not really. Fedora for 10, I think Aussie bucks, thank you, says, here our offshore detention centers are legitimately inhuman and crowded. I've seen them. Yeah. These seemed okay. I mean, again, not all of them look that good. There are some that are those processing centers where they really are just cots, but you're only supposed to stay there for a night. These are the ones with the beds and the, you know, playgrounds and stuff. Those are more long-term processing facilities, not processing facilities, but housing facilities, as they do figure out what to do with these kids. Because we're not that inhumane. We're not, astoundingly, we're actually trying to not just fuck these kids over. It's not usually their fault that they're here. And even if they did come here by their own volition, they're still minors, and they can't be treated as adults. Anyway, weird thing is that both parties have the same awful policies on it. You Yanks are years behind. It's all old news here. Yeah. In terms of I have seen this stuff in Australia. I saw a really hilarious picture today that was the Australian Museum of Immigration, and somebody put up a bunch of keep out signs in front of it. That was pretty good. Gravedigger for 20 says, are you going to post this stream? I missed the start. Yes, I will. Make Albion great again. Oh yeah. Cosmic Doragon for 2 says, Aiden, remember to enlist in US Space Force today. I actually didn't get the Space Force meme yet. I must have missed this. What happened? Somebody bog pill me on Space Force in the chat for a minute before we covered the last bit, which is them flipping their shit over. I'm just gonna bring up a couple things because to me it's hilarious. So you bog pill me on the Space Force thing. If it happened early in the day, I was probably asleep. Actually, what was I doing early today? While you're bog pilling me, I'm waiting for the chat to catch up. Here is the other thing. Trump signs executive order halting family separations. The furor over forcibly removing children from their parents prompted the administration to move without waiting for Congress. Now, I saw this thing earlier. And I don't know if this is true, but I'll bring it up here. HB probably covered it. Actually, it was from his retweet that I found it, so boop. Hey, look at my Twitter, guys. Because I didn't want to bring it up as, like, proof because I don't know. So this thing, Wired sources, says, breaking, President Trump will sign executive order keeping illegal immigrant families united at border, likely to face lawsuits by liberal open border groups. I have no way of determining if that has any validity to it, but let's just say I wouldn't be shocked. You know, there's no Paul Joseph Watsoning going on here, I guess. I wouldn't be totally surprised, and I would say that because of some of the responses I have seen on Twitter to it. They do this thing where it's like Obama, particularly in the last couple of days of his administration, signed a ton of pointless, stupid executive orders just because he could, just as a big fuck you to Trump. And guess what? Most presidents do that kind of shit. I mean, the fucking Clintons literally cleaned out the White House and stole, from what I've heard, they stole dishes and things. They just stole everything they could get their hands on when they left. So, let's see. Trump is giving us Gundams and we're going to space? Are you fucking kidding me? Oh, it's so good. I have that 40K Trump at the bottom then. Trump made a new military branch called the Space Force. How did I miss this? Oh my god. Oh my fucking god, I'll read the rest of the super chats in a minute, but first, actually, wow, guys, oh man. We have to do this real quick then. Oh shit, fuck yeah. Whoops. Why does it always have my sound automatically turned off? Every time.
Trump 2016.
Oh, always so fucking good. God, I love that video. Mike Diva's a really cool guy too, just in general. From the fact that we used to talk about mindless self-indulgence sometimes, whoopsie. Anyway, so yeah, Trump fix the problem, but again, you know, of course they're fucking mad. I just wanted to, I didn't know where to go exactly to find evidence of this bullshit, so I thought Dave Rubin's a good place because he's completely fucking middle of the line, so I thought I'd check his comment section. So, he obviously made the joke, oh, Trump's just like Hitler, right? Can I scroll up anymore? Yeah. Oh, Trump's just like Hitler. Because he rescinded the thing that people were so mad about. And then all of the comments... Okay, so this person's woke, but whatever. Woke. But you can't find any proof that Obama did that. Yeah, we know. We know. It's right here, moron. Okay? But all these people have been like, Dave, it's a policy that he and his team implemented based on an idea from actual fascist Stephen Miller. It's appalling, callous, and Hitlerian in nature. Infested country? What is infested country? Are you saying the country's infested with Hitlers? Like little Hitlers? I don't know what you mean by this country just full of tiny Hitlers. And it's pretty telling that you only chimed in when he reversed the policy that, again, he implemented. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Obama did, you fucking moron. First to hold Trump's feet to the fire. So there are all these people, not all of them. A lot of them even in Dave Rubin's chat, who does tend to groan, come on, Dave. The left are mad at you, Dave. You need to be more crazy if you're going to do right. Here, see how Peter Fonda did it? What'd he do? Oh, wait, hang on. Let's see what this is. What did Peter Fonda do? Office of First Lady calls Secret Service after actor Peter Fonda Oh, I saw this! Oh, I heard about this. Holy shit. Yeah, I saw this yesterday. So yeah, Peter Fonda, this who gives a fuck about you, said we should rip Barron Trump from his mother's arms and put him in a cage with pedophiles and see if his mother will stand up against the giant asshole she is married to. 90 million people in the streets on the same weekend in the country. Fuck. Don't even know what the fuck he means by that last bit. But what a goddamn psychopath. Can you imagine if someone had said something like this about, what are their names? Obama's girls? Could you fucking imagine what the outrage would be? The absolute shit show. Oh my god, it would be a nightmare. Wowee. Oh, he used the word gash. That's not very progressive and sensitive. Oh no. Oh my. This is the, oh, what a fucking moron. Oh. It's called testing the waters. You are aware that even tyrants condition their populace, right? Sorry, we're back to the Dave Rubin tweets. Or have you decided to put aside the rational right charade for a bit? What the fuck to do the thing, and he did it, and he's still Hitler. There is no winning. You know, I think, is it Vox Day who said never apologize to SJWs or something like that? Holy fuck. Never apologize, apparently. They can't fucking... They can't handle themselves. They absolutely... I've said this a couple times. It's a phrase I stole from my dad, that liberals have a reset button, I think. And now I think this is because they have relative morality. And I was really surprised the other day when I spoke to Sargon on Naked Ape stream that Trump, or that, wow, I looked at a picture of Trump and it's that association effect where it changes the things in your brain. That Sargon said to me, though, that, and to all of us, I guess, obviously, that he did not believe that there was objective good and bad, essentially. And I was stunned. I was very stunned by that statement. I'm not talking shit on Sargon. I was just really, really stunned that he said that. Because to me, that is that there are things that are unquestionably good and things that are unquestionably bad. There are times in which there's a difference, but morality, I do believe, is objective, and on some level, this total relative morality, it's only moral when it's good for me thing, is exactly why the left is the way it is. It's a reset button on belief. It's why you can have people who will say yesterday, oh, Trump, how dare he put children in concentration camps? And then Trump says, okay, well, they're not concentration camps, but you're mad about it, so you know what? Okay, we'll end that. You can go meet up with, we'll just take you and your family to the other side of the border and you can get the fuck out. Oh, Trump, how dare he? He's still Hitler, literal double Hitler, because they're losing their fucking minds. As I said in the beginning, it's the same goddamn thing with Korea. Of, oh my god, Donald Trump's gonna cause nuclear war with Korea. 2 months later, I can't believe Donald Trump's trying to make peace with North Korea. It is a reset button. Every day, sometimes in the middle of a sentence, I swear to god, it's like, you know, that was easy buttons. I need one of them. There's actually, I want two. For a long time, I really wanted to get one that, like, that was easy staples button, but I wanted to like reprogram it so that it would have Stefan Molyneux saying not an argument. But now I think, I don't know what it would say for the liberal one, or the leftist sort of hypocrisy, start this shit over again, here's what I think now. It's just, you press the fucking reset button. Yeah, I know I said that 5 minutes ago, but it doesn't count anymore because I changed my mind. And I changed my mind because, just because you are my political opponent. Now, I'm not saying the right doesn't do shit like this either. Of course they do. Of course they do. But this shit with Trump is so emblematic of how incredibly fucked the left is over him. It is proof in action of Trump derangement syndrome. Again, you don't have to like Trump, but holy shit. What the fuck? You know, I don't know how else to describe what I'm looking at here. It's absolute insanity, and it happens all the time. And the other thing is too, all of their Russia narrative shit keeps falling apart further and further and further and further, and yet they won't let that go. All they kind of have started to do is, you know, pushing it aside a little bit, only bringing it up when they think they have something to go by. Meanwhile, yes, again, guys, I'd always recommend checking out Hard Bastard's streams, because he goes through all of the findings of these investigations and tears them the fuck apart. So, yeah, it's just astounding to me. Oh, hey, look, someone cited the same study I did. Is this it? Yeah, 3.6%. But yes. But look at how many. But look at the numbers, though, my dude. You gotta look at those numbers. Obama administration placed children with human traffickers. Report said. Oh, right, that's a whole different thing. That because if we don't deal with this, again, these children often end up being disappointed, Dave. Often end up being sex slaves. They end up being just general slaves. Why are you okay with that? Is it because you don't give a shit about the welfare of these kids at all? You don't give a flying fuck about them? You're just using them as a political pawn? It's repulsive. Oh, they're still putting them in internment camps as a family. It's not an internment camp. It's not, have you, I mean, like, even, look, I'm not gonna say that the Japanese internment wasn't awful. But if you look at the condition of those camps, and I read a whole book on it. I read actually what was it? I read some memoirs about people who were interned during World War II in the Japanese internment camps. They didn't fucking murder those people. They were shitty conditions, and the entire idea was horrific because those people were American citizens for the most part, which is incredibly fucked. I absolutely disagree with that. If these were American citizens, then I would be outraged. I would be fucking losing my mind, but they're not. They're illegals. They're not US citizens. They don't pay anything towards taxes, and their parents are criminals. Fuck. Do you understand that this is everything that we do for these kids is a nicety on our part? The fact that we don't just boot them straight out and say, take them to the other side of the border, kick them out and say, good luck. Holy shit. That would be the really fucked up thing to do. No, we put them in these fucking, I mean, yeah, it looks like a summer camp or a hostel. I don't know. I mean, is it the Ritz-Carlton? No. But what the fuck do you expect? We're the ones paying for this shit. They're not paying anything for it. It's because, astoundingly, Americans do have values and we don't want to abuse children. That's why this matters in the first place, because many times these children would be abused otherwise. They are being trafficked into this country. For fuck's sake. Oh man, it really fucking fires me up, man. Oh, we'll take a look at some super chats, and I think that's probably it for me. That's all I really had, was I just wanted to touch base and be like, what the fuck is happening with this Trump shit? They absolutely, I guess they can't help themselves. Yeah, they can't fucking figure, they're so mentally obsessed with Trump and hating him that they can't even comprehend how stupid it is. I guess, or how backwards it is. Anyway, so where were we? Was I drinking? Okay. Tyler Preston provides his solution. We take the children in and throw their illegal parents' asses over the border. I say we throw them both back. I feel bad for the kids again. I don't know what to do. This is the problem. This is why they go to these centers to be processed, because we're trying to figure out what to do with them. Because they technically didn't commit a crime that they can be punished for, you know? Their parents committed the felony. If they did come here, you know, by their own, they committed a crime too, but they're minors, so they can't be processed as adults with the same felony crime. Bar One Studios for 5 says, confirmed Aiden will cosplay Blonde in the Belly of the Beast at this year's YomaCon. Sinatra will dress as Matt Christensen. I'll be at MythCon, actually. Although, since I was just talking about Sargon. I will be at MythCon if any of you are happen to go. I got talked into it, so I will be going to that, which is, it's a little bit cringy. I kind of am like, ugh, why am I doing this? Considering some of the people who are going, but it will be cool. If you guys know, I do a pretty much bi-weekly show with Doge, Zanamaro from Honey Badger Radio. Some of the Honey Badgers will be there. That'll be neat. Of course, Sargon, Shu, Greg. Rando number 9 for 2 says, Trump is giving us Gundams and we're going to space. Yeah. Holy shit, that's so, I have to look into this. Gravedigger for 10 says, will the God Emperor enlist a mobile infantry or space marines? He's the God Emperor. I don't know enough about 40k, but oh my fucking god, it's a fucking 100,000 year empire of the immortal God Emperor Donald J. Trump. It's astounding how memes reflect reality, or reality reflects memes, I'm not sure which. Fedora for 5 says, one of the biggest problems is they stay in these detention centers for years here due to willful negligence. That actually is the problem, and with a lot of these things. And again, that ends up on the taxpayer's dime. I'd say probably usually it is negligence. That's why we should, you know, cut down on these things. The thing that's so funny is that we get rid of these detention centers and we make it so we don't separate the kids from their parents. I guarantee that's one of the reasons they're going to be mad now, because it's like, or you're just kicking the children out of the country. Well, you didn't want them to stay here so we could process them more thoroughly and figure out if there's something we could do to help them. So, fuck off. Kali Montelius for 50 somethings. SEK, I don't know that one. Trump came out with the information that the US are going to put military forces in space. Yeah, holy shit, man. Clinging Mars for 2 said Clinton's took all the W's from the White House keyboards. I wouldn't be surprised. Son of Tiamat for 2 says liberals are just pathologically contrarian. Thank you. Whoops. Tyler Knox for 2 says these losers just want to be right. Yeah, pretty much, but they're really wrong, and that's the problem. Jormungand for 7, Jormungand 07 for 10 said that saying usually goes, quote, the left thinks history began yesterday. It lets them ignore cognitive dissonance, so the only thing they recognize is present-day hypocrisy and current emotional reactions. See, I would say you're correct there and have a point, except for the fact that the left is overwhelmingly preoccupied with slavery. You know, with the current effects of slavery that it has on the black population. A while ago, man. Like, that wasn't yesterday. I mean, even civil rights movement was 60 years ago. So no one alive today has ever been a slave in the United States. Now, hang on. A slave under the slavery system. There are slaves in the United States today. There are the children who are being trafficked. Yeah. A random number 9 for 2 says, don't forget Jim's video. Oh, we'll go out on that. Popog for 5 says this stream had sufficient stats. When's the next Patreon stream? I always mean to do it, and then I don't have anything to talk about, and then I think maybe what we should just do is I just need to get on. I get weirdly nervous on Patreon for some reason, and Discord. I think now partially it was after the Kraut thing, where it's like everyone's recording everything on Discord. You can't like just hang out and have a good time because people will do weird shit and take it out of context. But so when I'm streaming, I know I'm streaming, and I know that, you know, there's less vulnerability is not the right word. What would you call it? Expectation that people are gonna take something you say out of context, like an asshole or something. I don't know. I need to do it though more. Maybe we'll just get on there. Maybe this weekend. I don't know about this weekend. I've been so busy too, but probably soon we'll just we'll do a Quiplash or Cards Against Humanity again sometime. Michael McLaughlin for 5 says, declare these kids abandoned by their parents and adopt them out to church-going, gun-loving, childless Republican couples. Hashtag our replacement voters. I mean, if people want to adopt, I'm sure there are people who would want to adopt these kids if they're, you know, really are parentless and need help. That Gamerbird, hey man, for 2 says, someone on Twitter I was arguing with said illegal immigration is MSDM murder? I don't know what that word is, dude. Actually, type it in the chat. I can't. You have to fucking super chat it. Real quick, I'll pull up Jim's video. Oh, fuck. Yeah, you guys can see all the shit I watched. It's mostly just Red Letter Media. Oh wait, did I put it away? Oh, I did. Huh. Oh, it's professional. Alright, let's find Jim's short video. We'll go out and I'll answer a couple of questions, then we'll go out and... Alright, hang on. Whoops. That's not right. There we go. Alright, so, real quick, watch Jim.
It would have a devastating effect. Article 13, for example, would require the creation of an automatic filter for all online content uploaded in the EU, checking it against a database of copyright licenses. The system would be costly to create, impossible to keep up to date, and easily gamed by copyright trolls. And as experts including Tim Berners-Lee and Jimmy Wales have warned, it would turn the internet into a tool for the automated surveillance and control of its users. Well, it's a good thing Europeans aren't that fucking stupid. Oh no, wait a minute. EU takes the first steps in passing controversial copyright law that could censor the internet. The legislation passed an initial vote, but it will need parliamentary approval before becoming law.
What?
Since we're about to talk about America.
Jesus Christ, great.
The absolute state of fucking Europeans. Can you guys not fuck something up colossally on like a daily basis? Is that possible for you? I see a lot of British people. A lot of British people saying, thank God we voted for Brexit. This won't apply to us. You need a license to jack off. Sit your ass down. The mayor of London wants to ban mopeds. You need to shut the fuck up. Oh, Jeffries, it's so posh and proper. Oh, I'm having a tea-gasm. Salute the Queen with me. I want to say, on behalf of all Americans, get fucked. Get fucked, Europeans. Nicely done. Enjoy the YouTube-style content ID on everything you do on the internet. You enjoy that. You enjoy not being able to upload anything you feel like uploading. You enjoy no memeing. Oh, the days of memeing are done for Europeans. I can finally browse 4chan in peace. I can finally go on to Poll and not have to hear some dirty European talk shit about my glorious homeland.
I mean,
that's right.
not as bad as a
America,
Canadian.
land of liberty. And don't even try to tell me, oh, but the Americans and their freedom, oh, they've got guns. You can't even spell freedom. You probably spell it like color. Couleur, freedom. You don't even know what it looks like. Well, here's a taste. Here's a taste of what it looks like. I'm uploading this online and mocking you, but you probably can't do the same. At least not in a few months you can't, without Mama Merkel dropping a copyright hammer on your fucking ass. Oh, the EU is such a good idea. Let's give a bunch of oligarchs unlimited power and let them put laws into place without our input. Brilliantly done. Who saw that turning out as a devastating decision? Can you fuckers over there do anything anymore? Do you need a license to do just pretty much anything? To talk shit, to make a joke, to jack off, to own a fucking gun, to own a spork? Can you own sporks? I know you can't own mopeds, at least not pretty soon. Need to cut down on those assault vehicles, so what are we gonna do? Oh god, I love my country. I fucking love America, and I just want to put it out there.
Me too.
Oh, the Americans are so violent. Oh, Donald Trump. Oh, net neutrality's dead. At least we can say whatever the fuck we feel like saying. Enjoy your 1984 hellscape. You've earned it. And don't look to us to save you. 2 times was too fucking many. Okay? We heard you loud and clear with the whole America thinks it's the police of the world shit. You got this one on your own, buddy. Good luck. Good luck sorting this shit out. I'm gonna go eat a hamburger, shoot a rifle off, and stare at some glorious tits. You enjoy crying in your communist-style apartment building while they play the mandated diversity show on the BBC.
So good. Oh, so good. We'll into the last few things and out here, guys. Somebody asked if this is a Star of David. No, it's a Mjolnir that's surrounded with Futhark. So, like the opposite of that. Real quick though, let's end it out. I will keep my. It's getting really hot though, so yeah. Oof. So all I can have on is the fan, and I know that it makes a noise already, so. Alright. Can't find a link to my Discord, says Da Shampoo Tester for 2. Where can I join? If you go to my Patreon and pay $1 due, there's a link. Shaman McLamey for 2 says, America, fuck yeah! Fuck yeah! Jackson Dune for 5 says, holy shit, Aiden, you will be attending Mythicist. Getting those tickets and flying out to Milwaukee is probably the best decision I've ever made. Hey, awesome, dude. See you there. Popog for 5 says, Brandenburg v. Ohio or death. Every country needs the imminent lawless action test for speech laws. Best SCOTUS ruling ever. Fuck yeah, man. Rando number 9 for 5 says, Eurocucks eternally BTFO, also rip Triple X Temptation. Is that how you pronounce that guy's name? I was not a fan of his music, I suppose. Space Force 1 says French Nader 2. Hell yeah. I don't know how I missed this, but that's amazing. I saw what you said to that Gaming Bird about there was a misdemeanor. That illegal immigration is a misdemeanor. No, that's a felony. That's a major crime. Shaman McLamey for 2 says, hell yeah, Aiden streaming on my birthday. Happy birthday. Alright. And OJ Shrimp for 2 says, Aiden is hot with that blonde hair and MAGA hat. Thanks, man. I think that's it, though, for us, guys. Thank you for stopping by. So many people, too. I don't know how often I'm going to do stuff like this. The thing is, I want to do, like I said, I've been doing these kind of, like, gaming nerd streams, but, oh, man, like, this stuff has been so fucking stupid lately. I had to do something about it. Anyway, let me see who's still up, actually, real quick, so I'll tell you guys where to go. If you are craving the entertainment of I think HB is probably still up, but let's check. Might 10:30 probably. So yeah, if you guys are, well, you guys can go watch Andy and Sargon play Raise Their Wife's Dinosaurs together, or there's of course Hard Bastard is streaming, and check out his channel, or Brittany Benny. So there you go, lots of people to check out, all people I would recommend. Thank you guys for stopping by, and Ultron Volt.